couples stay together and live their best life. I ask that you stand to your feet as we welcome our keynote speaker, Michelle Hanna.
Well, she motivated me. I forgot for a moment. I'm like, who is she talking about? That's amazing. You know, all this year, I've been saying that I'm 90% there of taking off the mask. On February 13th, I'm sitting in my office, and there's a couple in front of me. They're getting ready to leave. We had just had so many breakthroughs of working together for so many months. And they asked me a question, and for some reason I just thought, well, maybe I just lost my train of, thought, but I thought maybe I was feeling a little bit of pain from the procedure that I just had. I was so used to being in pain because I've been in pain for 6 years physically. So immediately I thought, oh, it's just pain. But it was, no, it's numb. And then I started to feel warm. And then my client said, Michelle, look at your face. So I turned and I looked in the mirror, and I knew that I had a very short period of time for them to call the ambulance and for them to call my husband. So I said, husband name, Jay. That's just how it came out. Ambulance. So while they're calling the ambulance, in my brain, it was like a computer. You know how when there's a lot of data? So I could just see all this information. But then, like a printer, when it gets stuck and it's like, so that's what it felt like trying to get the words out. Then the words were like, all these words just kept coming like a train. And I was trying to grab one, because if I just grab one, I could tell them how I felt and what was going on. But then I couldn't talk. It sounded like, so I started to get nervous. My heart started to really beat fast. Now the EMT are there, and I'm hearing stroke, and I'm hearing heart attack, and her blood pressure is getting higher. So at this point, I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die just like my dad did. I just turned 47, I wasn't 47 then. And I said, I'm 46 years old. And my dad died doing what he loved to do. He died on the tennis court at 53. He had a massive heart attack. Right after he won, he hit that last ball, and that was it. The ambulance couldn't find him. And I could hear my client in the background saying, what's taking them so long? I said, I can't believe this. I'm literally going to die just like my dad did, doing what I love to do. At that point, they had to get me downstairs. The ambulance was there. I'm now in the ambulance. And now I could see them like it's just chaos. And that's making me more nervous because my pressure was even going up, and then I could not speak at all. And in that moment, it's not even about the mask coming off. The mask was off.
in that moment, I thought about, have I loved deeply enough? Can I really leave here with no regrets? And the answer was no. Had I loved deeply enough? Had I loved myself deeply enough? And the answer was no. The image meant nothing in that moment. I was so vulnerable. I was so fragile. I had heard so many people say, Michelle's so strong. She make it through everything. And in that moment, I didn't feel strong at all. My mother is here. And we had a little something between us. And in that moment, I said, oh my God, I'm not gonna see my mother again. We're not gonna get to fix this. And really, we're just so much alike. And that's why we had that little thing. I said, I'm not gonna get to see her. I'm not gonna get to see my daughter grow up. Well, she's grown, but you know what I mean. Get married, have kids. I'm not going to get to see my husband again. I'm a newlywed. I'm not even going to get to see him again. I haven't even get to experience happiness when I finally got it. All I wanted to see was my mother, my daughter, my husband, and it would be really nice if I could see a couple of friends that meant something to me just before, because I really thought I was out of here, y'all. I go to the hospital, and I'm still hearing stroke. And even to this day, there's memory that I don't have. They kind of laughed at me because I thought President Obama was still the president. And so the doctor said, me too. You know? He said, you don't have to remember that memory. I said, I don't remember nothing about the election, nothing. And then there's other memories that I don't remember at all. This is what it feels like for the mask to be off. I have not talked about this. A good friend of mine, Michelle Collins, is in the audience. And we lost contact, but we've been soul-to-soul friends for 19 years. She's been calling me. And I just couldn't talk about it. I just could not say what had really happened to me. I was embarrassed because every time I'd get nervous or anxiety, I start to slur my words. I said, how am I gonna speak like this? So many different specialists, and we're still going to figure out what really happened. But you know, at this point, it's not really an issue about what really happened. Not really. What really is important, right, is that every single day I am committed to loving fully self and accepting self, no matter what I've been through, no matter what is going on right now. Can I love you today, where you are? And can you love me where I am? Because if I get a little nervous, I may slur my words. And I may have to stop for a minute because I can't get my thoughts straight. But that is me. And the mask is now off. For me to get up here and say this, I struggled so much back there. I was really ready to run out of this. I just was like, I don't know if I can do this. So this is a monumental moment for me. It brought me back to the 4 B's that I first wrote about. Break up, break down, break through, break out. Break is in all of them. Break up. There's a break. The up is the elevation. It is you going to another level. So whatever you have had to break up from,
The up is the elevation. Are you ready to go higher to the elevation, elevation to elevation, higher and higher? There has to be a break. Something you're breaking up from, or someone you're breaking up from, or something. Breaking up is not a bad thing. There's a lot of good that comes in the breaking up. Break down. There's a break. The down. I'm going to get so down in there. I'm going to dig this stuff up. I'm going to unearth whatever it is, and I'm going to reflect, and I'm going to restructure, and I'm going to restore. And somebody talked about redeemed. That's what I needed. I needed to be redeemed. I needed to be restored. I needed to be refreshed. I needed to be rejuvenated. Break through. You can't spell through without spelling rough. And it will be rough. There's a break. But the through, when you are going through something, right? You're walking through it. Your haters, your pain, cancer, stroke, whatever it is, breakthrough. And I know they told me to stand right here in the middle of here and not move. But when I think about the breakthrough that has just happened in my life, when I think about the breakthrough that has happened between me and my mother, the woman that has gave me life, the woman that I came through her canal, and God healed that. He healed that. Break out. There's a break. Either I'm breaking out of something, but breaking in, something breaking into me, healthy coming into me, right? When I receive healthy, then I can break out into purpose. And I'll say this in closing. You know what? The one thing that I didn't forget in all of the things that I forgot was my purpose. You can ask me anything about my purpose and anything about what I'm supposed to be doing. And I didn't forget that because it's innate. It's what God placed down in me. That little baby that wasn't supposed to develop. And Mom, I just want to say, in front of everybody, that you loved me from the beginning. When I wasn't even supposed to develop, you came to the hospital every single day. And you held me close and you hugged me through love. And that is what caused me to get up and develop from what the doctor said. She has a neurological brain disorder. But you loved me through that. And I thank you so much for that. And I appreciate that because I wouldn't be able to stand here today if it hadn't been for your love. And you was right there in the hospital every single time. So I appreciate that. And I'm so sorry for anything we had between us. And I ask you to forgive me for all of it. And I appreciate that. Now this is vulnerability. And this is what transparency looks like. So I thank you so much for giving me a space to do this, because this is the first time I've done it, and it's been with most of you that I don't know.